have to talk about something that's been on my mind. I have to get it out. I think it's probably one of the biggest dating mistakes that people make. I'm talking about lacking confidence. If you're lacking confidence while you're dating and you're putting yourself down and you're putting this other person on a pedestal, you constantly are feeding into your insecurities, you are going to go down a really big rabbit hole of like, okay, well, you know, I'm such a nice person. I have all these things to offer. Like, I don't understand what's going wrong for me. When in fact, it's the lack of confidence that could be killing your shots of actually getting into a relationship. So let's talk about it today. Welcome back to another episode of Way Too Wifey. I'm your host, respectfully Gabby, and in this podcast we talk all things dating and relationships in this modern day. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Gabby. I'm an online dating coach where I help you transform your confidence to live your best lives inside and outside of relationships. And if you do not feel right from within, and which is, by the way, this is what we're talking about all episodes. So if you're not cool with from within, if you don't feel good about yourself, if you have this chaotic, non-healed from your past energy, then it's going to reflect in the people that come into your life. All of the people that you're attracting, all the people you're attracted to are going to be a reflection of the parts of you that need to be healed. So if you are curious about the program, please hit the stand link in my bio or in the episode description. I'm here for you. However you need that assistance, I got you. Let's hop into the episode. You guys, I had a conversation recently, which I think I might want to make a video on this. I still haven't fully developed an opinion on this yet. Okay, let's get into it. I used to talk to this guy long ago, like literally long ago. This was probably 10 years ago. I literally flew out to see him when I was so young. Oh my God. I literally bought this man like sneakers. Oh God. Anyway, I was so emotional at this point in my life that I was an emotional wreck. He lived in a state that I'm not going to name. But I got there, I was bawling my eyes out because I'm like, oh my God, it was all self-sabotage. I'm like, he's gonna leave me. Oh my God, this is gonna end at some point. I couldn't even be present in the moment because I'm like feeling like this is already falling apart before it even started. And I loved this man at the time. Not loved, but like I really liked him a lot. Anyway, it was like before my even first love. So like I literally had no perception of any relationship, anything at all. He ended up moving to the city that I lived in at the time, which was Orlando. And it was just wild because I was in a relationship at that time. And I'm like, what are the odds that you moved to the only city that I live in right now? Years later, we both parted ways. He lives in a different state now. I live in a different place now. Kept in contact for all these years, just kind of like as friends, nothing really crazy or anything. We were both talking about a certain city that we both were interested in living in. I'm like, how crazy would it be if we both ended up in the same city again? Like, I just feel like that's kind of a weird coincidence at that point. And then I was thinking, like, could I redevelop feelings for this person? Like, I don't know, because once I'm over someone, I'm kind of just really over them. I can't really look back or look at them in a romantic sense at all. It's hard for me because I'm like, could I see myself romantically connecting with this person when we already have a solid friendship. We already know what we're into, what we like, we can goof around, like we have a solid friendship. I'm like, could the romantic side come back in? So that's something that I've been thinking about recently. But anyway, this was kind of not even part of really the video, but this guy, we had a conversation on the phone, which was kind of weird because we have only ever really texted since then. We called each other and he was like, it's so weird. Like, I don't know, at what point do you kind of just pick someone and settle down? I just feel like no one's going to have it all, but like, where are you willing to compromise? And he was explaining how his first girlfriend was super great personality, but he wasn't really that attracted to her. Second girlfriend literally was gorgeous. She was fucking beautiful. Maybe lacked in the personality connection, whatever. He's like, where's the balance, right? And I'm thinking, like, I'm relating to this so hard. This is kind of a thought that I've been having. Where are you willing to really compromise? Because not everyone's going to have everything. And I think the more that you have this laundry list of things, like the smaller and smaller and smaller the selection of the dating pool gets. It's like, at what point do I compromise or just pick someone and settle down with whoever, just because, you know, at some point you want to settle down. And I was really thinking about it, like, what areas could I compromise in? And one area that kept coming up recently, for whatever reason, I have been attracting these men that are just like really not that confident within themselves. And it's such an ick for me. And I'm realizing that I don't think I can actually date someone who's not confident within themselves or feels good about themselves. All the things when we're in a relationship, right? I'm cool with gassing you up. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. But I don't want your sole existence and happiness to depend on me. I want you to feel that from within first, because I've taken myself out of a really dark place where I did not feel confident at all in myself, to now I feel like I've got me. I have proven to myself effort and energy it took to get here. Like, I know what I have to offer someone now, and I feel very confident in that. I don't want to have a partner that's behind me in that area in life, just because I don't want to feel like I'm being held back, or like you're putting me on this pedestal that I don't even deserve to be on, which I'm going to get there, because I know a lot of you are like, oh, but I want to be put on a pedestal. Hear me out. Let me get there. I don't want someone putting me on a pedestal for the sole reason of, like, the second that you put anyone on a pedestal, you've just devalued yourself to having them way more important than you. And I just don't think that's healthy. Yes, I want my man to worship me and love me and be obsessed with me in a healthy manner. Like, I want him to be like, that is my girl, and speak so highly of me, want me to do well. Like, I want him to really just genuinely love me. But what I don't want is someone who doesn't feel like they're deserving or worthy of love that's now coming into my life. Feeling that pressure. And I think coming from the other side, because I think I used to lack a lot of confidence, especially in dating, to where I would be like, the sole focus of my life is this person, and my sole happiness, my sole focus is depending on whether or not this person is in my life or not, or whether or not this person gave me some validation today, whether or not this person decided to text me today. A lot of my happiness would come from another person. And I think the more that I'm thinking about this, I'm just like, it sucks that the nice guy or the nice girl gets such a bad rep. Here's the matter about it, and I'm really wrapped my brain around this. It's not the fact that that person's a nice person, that they finish last or people walk all over them, they don't have the best luck in dating. It's not the fact that you're nice. You can be nice, have boundaries, feel self-assured and feel confident, and still want what you want. It's not the fact that you're a nice person that is turning people away. Have you ever gotten to the point where you're like, okay, I feel like I have so much to offer someone, I'm so loving, I have all this love to give. The second that you pour it into someone, it's like they backtrack, they don't appreciate how much love that you have to offer. And coming now from the opposite side, to where I feel really confident in myself and I feel all of the self-love, to where someone else saying like, oh, I have so much love to give someone, I just want to be in a relationship, I really just like really want this, it feels fucking suffocating. Because it's not the fact that, again, they're a nice person, because I'm like, thank God I finally found, in the beginning I'm like, when I started talking to these guys, I'm like, oh, I love the fact that he is so nice and treats me well and like cares what I have to say, and I'm in love with that part of them. Like, I really genuinely appreciate that quality. It's the putting themselves down, it's the not feeling comfortable in their own skin that I'm like, I start to get the ick. Okay, I get to start to get the ick real quick. And I just am realizing now, like, I have to be with a confident person, not a cocky person, not someone that's going to be like, I'm so much better than everyone else, I have all this going for me, I know what I bring to the table, and they just aren't it. Not cocky. There's such a fine line between being confident, self-assured, and then being cocky. But I think one of the biggest dating mistakes is not feeling confident with yourself. And I've noticed a lot of people do this. And even in friendships, I can't be friends with people like this. I realize now in this part of my life, and I've had so many friends like this in the past. Honestly, I'm not really that close with anymore, but they will put themselves down in order for like a little bit of validation, or in order for you to feel more comfortable. What it actually does is make me, I feel like I have to like hold them up and validate them at all times, like putting you up and then putting themselves down, or just putting themselves down in period all the time. Small things. I just realized, well, okay, I'll give you an example. Actually, I was recently talking to this guy, and if it's a 1-2 thing, like it is what it is. Like, it's kind of cute and endearing and like, oh, he's just like cute. Like, let me give you a little bit of validation here. But when it continues to happen, I'm like, I'm not doing this with you. Hold yourself up. Kept putting himself down of like, even to the point where he's like, he was talking about like past girlfriends. He'd be like, yeah, like I honestly never felt like up to their level. Like, why are they even with me? Why are they even entertaining me? And I don't necessarily think that ever really went away from him just based off of things that he said after the fact. It sucks because you really want to like these people because they're such good people and they probably do have a lot of love to offer, which is great. That's the kind of relationship you want to be in. At a certain point, when they're putting you so far up on a pedestal to where they're like not even... I need someone at my level, I think is what it comes down to. But because when they're putting you so far up, it's like your expectations of me are unrealistic. And the second that you put me on a pedestal, I'm looking down at you. I can walk all over you. Like, I can do whatever I want and get away with it. This isn't a mutually beneficial relationship. You're looking up to me and I'm looking down at you. Like, why am I even here? Why am I entertaining this? Like, I don't want to have to look down at my partner like I can walk all over them. And now understanding this from the other side really has given me a lot of perspective of like the opposite side of when girls do this in dating early on and how it feels to the guy, because I can only imagine if I'm feeling this way. I know that guys are feeling this so much harder. When you're insecure and you're talking down about yourself, people get uncomfortable. People will back off. Okay, like if that's how you feel about yourself, how am I supposed to feel about you? Because I had my own idea about you, but now that you're talking bad about yourself, it is literally showing me that you don't value yourself that much. So why would I show you that you're a valuable person? Like, you have to like be secure and self-assured within yourself in order for other people to treat you the same way. The only people that you're going to attract when you're not self-confident and you're not self-assured and you have all these insecurities that come up and you feel like you need to be validated by someone, you're probably going to attract a lot of narcissists in your life. You're probably going to attract people that don't really care about you or don't value you a lot. And that's why it's so confident, or that's why it's so important to have confidence and to be self-assured within yourself, because the second that you start treating yourself like someone that can't be fucked with, that's when other people will start to be like, oh, okay, like I see that. Okay, cool. Like, this girl knows what she's talking about. This girl knows like she is who she is, and who am I to say any different? Like, if she believes that she's the shit, like, why would I not think that she's the shit? Or I'm just gonna find her like a cocky asshole that I don't care about, in which case that says a lot more about the person that's saying, oh, this person's just cocky, because realistically they probably are also lacking confidence, because a confident person is not gonna look at anyone and be like, confident person's gonna be like, okay, well, I see what's going on here. They don't have to speak about it. They don't have to speak about it. They already know, okay, if you're calling someone out, that there's something in you that's not that secure within yourself to where you have to call someone else out about whatever it is. This is one of the biggest dating mistakes, dating fails, and you could be the nicest person ever. If you have boundaries, I think you're going to make it so much further in life and so much further in relationships by being nice and by having firm boundaries and being confident and self-assured. That combination literally is unfucking stoppable. You know, there's men out there that are like this, but I'm like, but why is it that the confident ones are always the assholes, or the ones that are emotionally unavailable, the ones that don't really care about women, the ones that don't want a relationship? Where is there a balance between confident guy, self-assured, emotionally intelligent, that is also kind? Why is that such a hard find? Anyway, I know it's out there. I know it only takes one, but be the person. You want to show up in the best light, because the second that you paint yourself in like even if it's just a joke, if you're putting yourself down, that other person's not going to have the same amount of respect for you. Respect for you is going to continue to dwindle down. And looking at this now from another perspective, I'm like, wow, is that what I was, or was that what I was? Because I couldn't for the longest time wrap my brain around the fact that I'm so kind, I have so much to offer someone, I have so much love to give, but at the same time, internally, I didn't realize this at the time, I wasn't giving that same love to myself. I wasn't choosing me. I wasn't picking me. I was, putting all of my love and energy and all of the things into men that I felt really needed it, the broken men that I felt like I could fix. And I'm like, why? I'm giving them literally everything. I'm giving them fucking all they could want. What am I doing wrong? Because I'm being nice. Kindness alone is not enough. You have to have boundaries, especially when you're a nice person, because it is so hard for people to like, oh, well, she's nice, well, so I can get away with a lot more. She's nice, so I can let her go. It is so much easier to let go of the nice person than it is to let go of the asshole, because they know that asshole, the second that they lay some boundaries down, the second that they try to control the situation, that asshole doesn't give a fuck about you. They're going to be out in 2 seconds, and they want the self-assurance. They want the validation from the asshole. Whereas the nice person, I can come back tomorrow and you'll be in the same place. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. That's what I'm saying. If you are a nice person, you absolutely must have boundaries for yourself, or you will get walked all over. And I learned this the hard way, because for the longest time, I'm like, okay, well, if this isn't it, then I'm just going to start being an asshole. I'm going to start being a bitch to everyone and see where that gets me. It didn't get me that far, and I felt like I was playing games, and it just like wasn't really me at the end of the day, which sometimes I can be a bitch. Sometimes I'm moody, whatever. It's just normal, natural. But I think for that to be my whole personality just wasn't me. I'm just a nice person. I'm mellow, but the thing is, I realized a lot of my, like making excuses for them. Oh, well, they really want to do this. I want to keep the peace. I don't really care one way or the other, so I'm just going to let them have it. And then that turns into, okay, they're taking because they know they're going to get their way. And at some point, you got to put your foot down and be like, actually, no, I'm not cool with this. Actually, I'm not good with this. And then the second that you do, all of the people that have disrespected you will think of you differently. The boundaries are absolutely essential in building real, meaningful connections. The more people pleaser you are, you're only keeping people in your life that will walk all over you, that will take advantage of you, that don't see your value. I learned this the hard way, so I'm telling you now, kindness with boundaries is going to take you very far in life. Take it for what it is. If you want to be the asshole, if you want to be the bitch, by all means, be who you are. At the end of the day, you gotta have a little confidence. It all comes down to a little confidence, you guys. Because people will listen to you regardless if you have that confidence. I think in a sense that women can relate to this, of like feeling guilty for not liking the nice guy. But here's what I have to say about that. It's like, why should we feel guilty for not liking someone who doesn't really even like themselves? Like, that's so fucked up. I'm sorry, but you have to love yourself first in order for me to also be like, yeah, for sure. Because I don't want to be your sole source of validation. I really don't. I can't do it. I feel like I'm in a really good spot now, mentally, emotionally. I just feel good within myself. So why would I try to bring someone up out of the mud with me? To a certain extent, sure, I'll give you validation, but I don't want to do all of the work. Oh my God. I just came to this realization the other day, and I really needed to share this, because confidence will take you so far. The second that you start seeing your value, everyone around you is going to start seeing your value. Don't let this affect your dating life so much to where you're only attracting people that are going to walk all over you, take advantage of you. It's just not worth it. That's why it is absolutely crucial. Take some weeks off to focus on yourself and build yourself up, so when you do put yourself out there, you're attracting the right kind of attention. You're attracting people that actually want to invest in you and are actually, decent people. So that is it for this week's episode. I hope this all made sense. I really just went off on a tangent, you guys. I had no plan for this episode. I really was just planning on just going for it. Which sometimes happens, and sometimes I just go off on a tangent and just say how I feel, and that was one of these episodes. So I hope it all made sense. I hope it didn't cause more confusion. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this somewhere else, feel free to DM me, or obviously hit the stand link in my bio. I will see you all there. And again, you guys, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, leave that 5-star rating, turn on your bell notification so you'll never miss another episode. I'm actually leaving for London in a week and a half, so hopefully I have time before then to record. But if I don't, I apologize. I'm sure I will see you all next Tuesday.